It is TikTok that has unified Congress. We've got bipartisan legislation coming from both Senator Thune on the Republican side, Senator Warner on the Democrat side, which is unique in itself that you've got even Republicans and Democrats coming together. The White House is agreeing.
There's actual movement happening right now, which I think we're all a little surprised by. Like you said, this may not be what everyone wants, but it's at least a bipartisan move, something you rarely see. It maybe under this administration could at least be a step towards something in terms of just the widespread usage of an app that has had so many issues over the last few years.
Now, it's not a full ban.
That's right.
I think how I would like to say this is probably the best you could do to get bipartisan support on anything right now. What it does allow is the Commerce Department to come in and ultimately, it's called the Restrict Act, and it would allow the Congress to come in and restrict it. Yeah. So it would start a new process.
It is a spyware that is on our phone. As someone who was acting director of national intelligence, I can tell you that we've had to give defensive briefings to individuals who got wrapped up with the communist Chinese strategies unknowingly. And that's a problem. I mean, I've seen it too many times. I've seen local politicians, governors, so it's local and state officials as well as federal officials. I mean, we all know Eric Swalwell and that case. So individuals are getting wrapped up into this, and now the intel community is doing defensive briefings. I've seen it too much. I think it's a real danger.
I think what we can do here is go after the bad guys. There's not that many of them. But this one specifically, we've been told time and time again how dangerous it is, not just to you, but to your own country's national security.
There's a lot of those apps that you're not sure what you're downloading, or the facial recognition softwares that are fun and usually have a good gimmick that we all love. Hey, it makes me look like an old man. It makes me look young again. It makes me look like a lot of times those are countries Russia, a lot of times getting data collecting. It's all data. Look, we all know this. The most valuable resource on all of these apps is the data. It has nothing to do with the actual function of the app most of the time. It's not the game. It's not the, with the video clips you can watch. It's not the fun little, clean up your wrinkles. It has to do with the data that they're collecting. That's not always necessarily a bad thing in the sense of they're honest with it. They're giving you a free service, and they are taking what they get with that free service. Facebook does it. Instagram does it. They all do it. They're mining your data, and you're utilizing a free service they're providing. It's a trade here, really.
Yeah. The difference is that most of the U.S.-based companies would want to protect, we're talking about those stories in a minute, their users.
Yeah, their private information. They're using your data to sell advertising.
Right.
Times, those kind of things.
But they actually don't want the government interference. The difference with TikTok is that they're literally run by a foreign government.
Yeah, as you said, I think it's something to clarify for a lot of people is that just because TikTok itself is not owned by the CCP, there is no such thing as privately owned in the same sense. No. You have to kind of get your head into a different space.
Right. That they actually, to have a business in China, the government not only has to approve it, they have to have complete access and control over all of the information and data.
Yeah.
So who's running the company? China.
This really has nothing to do with the content that's on this app.
No, there's so many places to put that content.
Yeah, I think, of course, this is about the back end.
That are actual
what's happening in the back end.
Right. And we know what's happening with their back end is that they have access to all of your data. They can take all of your data. That includes your IP that you're writing. Just think about it that way. If you were writing anything creative on your phone or work related, they're getting the keystroke.
Yeah.
When you get keystrokes, do you realize they're getting everything you look for in your phone, every email you send, everything?